What's going on, guys? It's Danny here, and this is Priest versus Hunter, and this is the semi-final of the tournament, and it's a best of 5. So to advance to the final we need to win 3 duels. I am going with my Shadow PvP / dueling spec, and the Hunter Azeral is going with this spec. I don't know if it has any specific name, maybe just survival PvP spec, but it looks kinda scary. In this matchup, what I want from my gear is as much damage as possible. I don't really need more HP than normal, since here the problem is mana. One big item that's pretty much a must-have as a priest versus hunter is the Skull of Impending Doom. The hunter's scatter shot and trap break from taking damage, so with the skull you damage yourself and you break those. And then from the 2 trinkets I want aggression and damage. Goblin Mortar is one of the best trinkets here. And the second trinket is Briarwood Reed. So I will play our duels, but I will do a bit of talking before and after them, just to try and be helpful to the other priest friends that have been asking for something like this for a while. The Frost Reflector is another really good trinket against Hunter, because for the duration it makes you immune to the trap that freezes you. But we'll see this one in a bit, because in the first duel I went with just one way of breaking CC. Since we're doing multiple duels, I want to have some tools left for after the first one. So let's just go into the first duel already. If I didn't hold the skull for that long, he probably would have gotten the reset he needed to recover at the end. The skull drains my mana as well as my HP as a priest, but I was already pretty much and the HP is not a problem in this duel, so I held skull for the full duration. I mainly think of this duel as a race. My HP versus his mana. The other way around, Danny. My mana versus his HP. So no hesitations, go aggressive, kill him as fast as possible. As you saw, one scatter shot into trap reset is not the end of the world, but more than one is pretty much the end of your mana. And I've heard some people say, MP5 gear can do well, but my rank 13 set and some of my off pieces already give a decent amount. So one thing I could try if I ever get those trinkets is this one from ZG, a lot of MP5 on use, or the Shard of the Scale from Onyxia. Now in this matchup, your silence comes into play a lot. The hunter cannot put a trap on the ground if he's silenced. Now there is another trick they can do, and you will see it in this second duel, but no Skull of Impending Doom now, equipping the Frost Reflector instead. So in the second duel, I have Zandalarian Hero Charm, big spell damage on used trinket. Let's go. That was a really fast duel actually. And I lose my mana so fast, it's crazy. Sometimes I even doubt if I want to shield against the hunter. I should probably try a duel without shielding. Survive just with the healing from Vampiric Embrace. I silenced him on the scatter, and then he grenaded on the scatter to use the nade as a setup for the trap. But there was a second gap for me to pop the reflector and I was immune to the trap. So many blackouts in that second duel, by the way, procced so many. He tried a different thing with Goblin Rocket Boots to speed away from me, but I'm not that scared of it because one of the biggest weaknesses for hunters in duels is that they have range that they have to respect. So for the other priests, how exactly do you silence on trap or skull the trap? Any tips for that? Well, one thing to keep in mind is that the scatter shot is the setup for the trap, and the scatter shot does not have big range. It's like only 15 or 20 yards. So when the hunter is coming towards you, it's most likely to scatter you. So like I said, this is semi-finals, best of 5, so we need to win 3 duels to advance to the final. And let's look at the next duel. This time, no Frost Reflector, no Skull of Impending Doom. I like the Bar of Peasant color against hunters a lot. They do decent damage and they can potentially tank a trap for you. And they can daze him if he's using Aspect of the Cheetah to kite. And here I'm using the net. I have probably deleted 5 different net trinkets, but in this case, if the other tools are on cooldown, I just gotta use the net and hope it doesn't backfire. And let's go into the third duel. So this time the net smiled at me and didn't backfire. So in this last duel, Azerao tried to do something different. Maybe it was a bit of a desperation move. He feigned death trapped here when he was away from me. But those peasant colors running right into it, tanking it for me. But this one is easy to see anyway when I click on him after feign death. I can see that trap went on cooldown. And the add-on that tracks the enemy cooldowns that I have right here, by the way, is enemy cooldown count classic. And also priests always have Shadow Word Pain rank 1 on a bind. I've seen hunters pop Shadow Reflector at the start of the duel, and you can use that opportunity to reflect to yourself a rank 1 before dotting with a max rank, and it will be breaking scatter shot traps in the next 20 seconds for you. But it's just having a dual range that you cannot leave really sucks for hunters. In the open world it's a completely different fight. And a few words about the fear. I most of the time just fear the pet. Just get it off me. It gives me a lot of pushback. It takes down my inner fire charges. If I see an opportunity to fear the hunter if I'm on top of him somehow, sure. But most of the time I just fear the pet. Now I have another duel against the hunter from an earlier stage of the tournament. It's my second duel against him. That's why you will see he has some stuff on cooldown. Just a bit unfortunate that my camera is on the top right, because while waiting for my duels I was watching the stream of the tournament to look at other people's duels, and I forgot to switch to the other scene where the camera is on the bottom left. So my camera just covers the debuffs. But this duel is interesting anyway because there is something simple to learn from it. I like to show this type of duels when I have them. Let's just say it. A blackout stun allows me to go close to fear. Didn't skull in time there. It's not over though. This grenade is actually pretty sick. It allows him to gain distance and the Viper Sting ticked a couple of times, mana burn. This right here though is a lot of hesitation from me. I did like a move left and right. He started to first aid. I'm a bit late with the nade. And right here, that was 2 or 3 rank 1 Shadow Word Pain. I'm not sure why I do this. I clearly said the reason why I can do rank 1 Mind Flay or dot against Druid is because there is enough time. I should have done a Mind Blast and at the moment I should be channeling a Mind Flay already. Skull is nice. He didn't put the trap that freezes me though. This is probably Arena Grandmaster trinket. Popped when I'm completely I cannot dispel it. Well played. It's not completely over yet, because I still have HP and I can wand and stuff. Rank 1 dot there. Hoping that I can kill him with the wand and the dot. This is even more impossible. You can't kite the hunter. The hunter kites you. So you can see how hesitating can be really bad in this duel. I'm just gonna describe this duel as hold W, do as much damage and as fast as you can, and outplay one of the scattershot trap combos. You can see because of how tanky we are, we don't die right away. So sometimes you will be able to finish the hunter with wanding, and don't forget rank 1 dot. It's very low mana cost and it adds up with little ticks of damage. But my first duel against this hunter was a win, and in the earlier stage of the tournament was about points. The ones that I won 3-0 against the other hunter at the start, those were the most important ones to place me in the final. So there is one final boss left. And that's it for the Priest versus Hunter video. If you play Priest, I hope you found something useful in the video. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video and the duels. Don't forget to subscribe, I upload quite a lot of stuff in here. I also stream live on Twitch, so don't forget to follow and check that out when I'm live. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.